Hello, my friends, and welcome to the thesis statement and topic sentence lesson. So today I'm going to show you a brief video. In this video, I'm going to go through some examples of how to write thesis statements and topic sentences, and I will talk about how to write them into your planner for your essay. So let's start with this video from YouTube. You are welcome to watch this video on your own below as well, but I'm going to play it in this video because I think it's really good. Here we go.
Statement when writing a literary analysis essay. What is the purpose of a thesis statement? The thesis statement is the most important sentence in your essay. Some even say it is the roadmap of your essay. It is the sentence that clearly states what your essay will be about. Without a clear, specific thesis statement, your reader would be lost or confused while reading your essay. So to keep them on the right path, be sure your thesis statement is specific, not too broad. It should be focused and to the point. And since the thesis statement is the roadmap of your essay, all of the body paragraphs must support the position you make in your thesis. So continually connect back to your thesis statement throughout your essay. What about a thesis statement for literary analysis essays? Your thesis statement should tell the reader what position you are taking and what theme you will prove in your essay. Your thesis statement should answer the prompt, and it may also include the name of the text and the author. If your prompt is asking you to determine the theme of the text, here are some important things to remember. A theme cannot be one word. That is considered a topic. You need to make a statement about that topic that tells about a universal experience about life. Here's an example. If the story has the topic of love, you cannot say the theme of the story is love. You need to make a statement about it. So an example of a theme statement for the topic of love is, you have to learn to love yourself before you can find true love. There are some things you shouldn't do when writing a thesis statement. Do not start your thesis statement with, I think this essay will be about, in my opinion, or I believe. Let's take a look at an example thesis statement. In this thesis statement, the prompt was, write an essay analyzing the theme of No Guitar Blues and how the author Gary Soto revealed the theme using examples from the text to support your ideas. It's important to note that this prompt is asking for you or the writer to respond to what is the theme of the short story. Let's take a look and see if this thesis statement does that. In the short story, No Guitar Blues, author Gary Soto explores the challenges of growing up and how the decisions kids make along the way will determine the type of person they become. Let's take a look at some of the things that the writer of this thesis statement did. What was really nice about this thesis statement was they included the title, and notice that they put the title with quotation marks. In addition, in this thesis statement, they mentioned who the author is, Gary Soto. So this is something that you can do in your thesis statement to be specific. In addition, the author of this thesis statement clearly stated the theme that they are going to be trying to prove in their essay, that decisions kids make along the way will determine the type of person they become. This is a successful thesis statement. It is clear, it is concise, and we know that when we read this essay, this author will be proving that decisions kids make determines the type of person they become. Let's look at another version of the same thesis statement responding to the same prompt. Let's start right here. Gary Soto explores the challenges of growing up and how the decisions kids make along the way will determine the type of person they become. In this thesis statement, the author only stated the author's name and not the title of the text. We have to assume that this author had already mentioned the title of the text in the introduction paragraph and didn't feel it necessary to repeat it again in the thesis statement. Again, this is the same thesis statement. The only thing different is the title is not mentioned. So here are some key ideas to remember when writing your thesis statement. Be clear and concise. Be sure to answer the prompt. And always remember the thesis statement is the roadmap for your essay.
All right, so I like that video because she uses the same metaphor that I like to use for thesis statements, the roadmap metaphor. And I think the roadmap is one of the best ways to recall for me the purpose of a thesis statement. So we're going to go through some slides right now, and what we're going to focus on in these slides is the connection between the thesis statement and the topic sentences in a literary analysis essay. So thesis statements are the roadmap for your whole essay, and the topic sentences are like the signs along the way. When you get to body paragraph 1, you should restate some of those key ideas from your thesis statement. Now for your essay, for your literary analysis essay about All-American Boys or Machetes, you'll only have one body paragraph. But if you have more than one, then you'll have multiple points in your thesis statement that you need to unpack. So let's look at this with some examples. Here's a thesis statement example. Here's the essay prompt. Write a 5-paragraph essay about 3 negative stereotypes of teenagers and refute those stereotypes. When you write a thesis statement, it is so important that you take the prompt and you flip it into your thesis statement. If you don't do that, you might get off topic. So here's the thesis example. Teenagers are often stereotyped as lazy, ignorant, and selfish. However, the opposite is actually true. Let's see how these match up. So here's the prompt. 3 negative stereotypes. These are the 3 negative stereotypes. Refute those stereotypes. The opposite is actually true. So we take the prompt and we flip it into a statement. Now I know that when I read this essay, I'm going to have 3 body paragraphs. One about lazy, one about ignorant, one about selfish, and the refutation of all 3 of those. So you can see the body paragraph topic sentences here. This is my thesis. Teenagers are often stereotyped as lazy, ignorant, and selfish. However, the opposite is actually true. Body paragraph 1 topic sentence. Teenagers are often stereotyped as lazy. However, they are actually hardworking. Body paragraph 2 topic sentence. Some argue that teenagers are ignorant, but they are actually constantly obtaining information through various sources. Body paragraph 3, topic sentence. Selfishness is seen as a common teenage trait, although many teenagers demonstrate selflessness regularly. So you can see that the thesis statement previews topic sentence 1, 2, and 3. Each topic sentence point to a specific part of the thesis statement. This is the roadmap. These are the road signs. Now remember that the thesis statement and topic sentences are not there for you, the writer. They are there for the reader. You are reminding the reader over and over again of what your central claim is so that they can stay focused on your central claim. Now all 4 of these are claim sentences. All 4 of these are making a claim. But we more specifically call this the thesis statement and these the topic sentences. Let's look at another example. Okay, so according to this example, let's think about this for a second. What should a thesis statement include according to this example? So you need to have a reused sentence stem from the prompt. You need to preview all of the topic sentences in correct order. So let's look back here. If the thesis says lazy, ignorant, and selfish, then the topic sentences should go lazy, ignorant, and selfish because you have told the reader, I'm going to do A, B, and then C. The reader expects it in this order. So again, preview of all topic sentences in correct order. Let's look at a couple of other examples. Write an analysis essay about how the author's style develops a theme. Now this is a good one to look at because this is exactly what your essay prompt looks like for Machetes or All-American Boys. How the author's style develops a theme. Now for you, you get to pick. It could be mood, tone, characterization. Most of you are writing about theme after looking at your planners. So then we take this prompt and we turn it into a thesis statement. In Salvation by Langston Hughes, title, author, don't forget those. The author uses metaphor, imagery, and diction to develop the theme that pressure from adults can be harmful to children. So according to the prompt, I have to specifically address style and theme. So I have 3 style elements: metaphor, imagery, and diction. And I have a theme statement. Develop the theme that pressure from adults can be harmful to children. The key reason why we flip the prompt in our thesis statement is to make sure that we are covering all of the requirements of the prompt. Match the structure of the sentence in the prompt so that the structure of your essay does what you are required to be doing. So let's look at some topic sentences for this essay. In Salvation by Langston Hughes, the author uses metaphor, imagery, and diction to develop the theme that pressure from adults can be harmful to children. As you can see, all 3 topic sentences restate that same theme over and over and over again. Remember, the topic sentences and the thesis statement are not for the writer. They are for the reader, so that the reader keeps getting those reminders of what the main point of the essay is. And then you can see that each topic sentence breaks down another piece of the thesis. Metaphor comes first. Metaphor is in the first topic sentence. Imagery comes second. Imagery is in the second topic sentence. Diction comes third. Diction's in the third topic sentence. You can also see that there are some transition words to move from one idea to the next at the beginning of these topic sentences. We'll talk about transition words in a couple more lessons. So I want you to think about this. Just kind of mentally answer this while I go through the prompts. So there are 2 prompts here. Write a 5-paragraph essay about how your high school experiences have prepared you for college. So my thesis statement would have to flip this prompt into a sentence. How would my sentence start? Think. Yeah, your sentence would probably start with, my high school experiences have prepared me for college by, and then you would list 3 ways that your high school experiences have prepared you for college. Or you could get even more specific. My high school experiences in theater, tennis, and academics have prepared me for college by helping me become, and then you'd have 3 topic sentences. You could make up some stuff here. Theater has helped me become a well-rounded person. Tennis has taught me commitment to a difficult thing to do. And academics has taught me that even when I struggle, when I try hard, I can make it through. So your thesis statement will directly respond to the prompt, and you will then insert the pieces that are required. Second one, write a 4-paragraph essay about the benefits of daily exercise. Flip the prompt. How would your sentence start? Think. Good. Your sentence could start with, some of the benefits of daily exercise include, and you would just have 2 topic sentences. Why would you only have 2 topic sentences in this essay and 3 in this one? Yeah, because in this one it says 4-paragraph essay. So you will have an intro, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. But in this essay it says 5 paragraphs. So you'll have an intro, 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. So pay attention to the prompt. Now for the essay that you're writing right now, you only have to write 3 paragraphs. 1 intro, 1 body, 1 conclusion. So after you write your thesis statement, ask yourself these questions. Did I answer the entire prompt? Did I provide specific details for each part of the prompt? Is my position clear? And then, would some people disagree with my thesis? That's a good thing. When you're writing an analysis essay, you're making an argument. You are arguing for your view on the text, for your meaning of the text. Remember, you create the meaning. The last thing to make note when it comes to the thesis statement is that it belongs at the end of the introduction paragraph. Before the thesis statement, you should provide some background information about the author and the text. Tell us about the text. Summarize it. What is it all about? Summarize All American Boys. All American Boys is about, tell us a little bit about it. Summarize Machetes. Machetes is about, tell us a little bit about it. So before your thesis statement, you have to provide some background information about the text so that when your reader gets to your thesis statement, they understand what you're talking about. It is a single sentence and it will be revisited in the conclusion paragraph. Then remember that for topic sentences, each body paragraph should explore part of the thesis statement. For your essay, your thesis statement really is your topic sentence as well, because you only have one body paragraph. But when you write longer essays in the future, you will have multiple parts of your thesis statement, and each part should match the body paragraphs that you have in your essay. Remember that topic sentences have to come at the very beginning of your body paragraphs. They are a sentence by themselves, and they are the road sign to the reader of what this paragraph is about. Thank you for listening to today's lesson, and when you are ready, you can move forward. Oh, wait. So now what you need to do is go into your planner and write your thesis statement and topic sentences. So in your planner, you have already highlighted the literary device that you're going to focus on. You have already highlighted the effect that that literary device has on the text. You have already chosen the text that you want to focus on. And I'm just selecting things kind of at random here. And then right here, you have already filled in the effect or meaning. So if you picked theme, you wrote a theme here. Systemic racism is actively working to keep Black folks oppressed. If you chose tone, then you wrote in a tone here. If you chose conflict, then you wrote in a conflict here. You can delete the other stuff, so that way you just have your stuff in there. But you should have chosen a device, an effect, and then you should have defined that effect. Now you're going to write your thesis statement. So right here where it says paragraph 1, thesis statement, first you're going to write some background information. So tell me, Machetes by Jason Reynolds is a poem about, and then summarize it. Or All American Boys by Jason Reynolds and Brendan Keeley is a novel about, and then tell me about the book. Give me a summary. You'll notice that Machetes is in quotation marks. All American Boys is italicized. This is a poem. This is a novel. You need to change the font differently. So once you have that background information, the last sentence of your introduction paragraph will be your thesis statement. And look, we've got a template for you right here. So you're going to copy this sentence, Control C, and after your background information, you're going to paste your thesis. And then you're going to fill in these pieces with your information. So if you're doing Machetes, you're going to write in Machetes in quotation marks. You're going to remove the italics because it doesn't need to be italicized. If you wrote in All American Boys, then that should be italicized. The author, and I'm going to change that to poet, Jason Reynolds, uses, and I chose metaphor. So I'm going to write uses metaphor, and I'm going to put A because it's just one metaphor, to develop a theme that let me scroll back up to my theme. Systemic racism is actively working to keep Black folks oppressed. Racism is actively working to keep Black folks oppressed. And that's it. Now, you should definitely change the font color to all one color, preferably black. You should not put colored font in your essay. It's not professional. So, The key thing about your thesis statement is that it tells the reader, I'm going to talk about this thing, and I'm going to talk about how it does this thing. I'm going to talk about metaphor and how metaphor develops a theme. And that will directly respond to the prompt, which is how does the author use style to do something bigger? Now that I have my thesis statement, I can write my topic sentence too. And it's going to be almost identical to the thesis statement. But I don't have to repeat the title. I can just do, in the poem, Jason Reynolds uses a metaphor. So I'm going to Control C that. Jason Reynolds uses a metaphor to develop a theme that systemic racism is actively working to keep Black folks oppressed. So now I have my thesis statement. I've got my full introduction paragraph with background information and my thesis. And now I have my topic sentence. Oh, and I spelled Reynolds wrong. So it's always a good idea to look back over your stuff to make sure that you catch that. Now I can move on to the next step of my essay, which is to write my evidence and explanation. And we will talk more about that in our second class. If you are ready to watch the next video though, you can go ahead and do that. Thank you for paying attention. Fill in your planner with your thesis statement and topic sentence and keep moving forward.